Yuki and John's Patreon birth.
All right, Yuki, once again, we are recording so that you know we're in the middle of a podcast, or beginning a podcast at least.
Okay.
All right, so Yuki, today's subject is very hefty and heavy, yes. I only suggested this because I was reading a debate online about it. It somehow, some thread that I was on spiraled into this subject, which is the death penalty.
Mm.
And many people have differing opinions on the death penalty. So I would love to know your opinion. I have some opinions. And then we could just sort of freeform jazz about the death penalty. Maybe talk about movies where they have the death penalty showcased, etc.
All right. So I say, conclusion first, what I think about this penalty. I think I'm fine with it. If you kill somebody, kill him. That's because you have to make an example. So other people said, do I kill? Wait a minute. If I kill, I get killed. So maybe I shouldn't kill. So, you have to set the example because, if we don't have this penalty, because, hey, let's kill everybody since I don't get this penalty, see? So we have to set the example, let everybody knows, rest of the world know, you kill, you get the kill, you get this penalty. That's the only way to, let them understand. I don't know any other way to do it. Then some people, I killed, then you're in the jail. Okay, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Still, this penalty, because instead of hell, if you be sorry, you regret it, you can go to heaven. So still the same thing. So I think this penalty is a good example to let those bad people know what are you getting me into. So that's why I'm okay with the death penalty.
Okay, so eye for eye, tooth for tooth is what you like.
Yeah.
Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Okay, so mine is a little more complicated because, so if somebody kills somebody by accident, right? So if you're in a car accident and you kill somebody accidentally, do you deserve the death penalty? No, in my opinion.
That's the case, yeah.
Right. So then you also go into if somebody breaks into your home and you kill them because they're going to try to kill you or something, and it's self-defense, that doesn't deserve the death penalty, but you killed somebody.
Right.
So it has to be like a violent murder that was unwarranted, that you think that the death penalty is used for.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. Accidentally kill somebody, that's a different story, or self-defense. But, I had the one interesting self-defense story. Okay. You kill somebody because of the self-defense, but your position, okay, the guy you kill is in the other side of the room, and you are this side of the room. Door is behind you. The self-defense doesn't work because you can run instead of. That's what I heard.
That's stupid. Okay, so if somebody's breaking into your house and gonna murder you, it should not even be a question if there's a door or a window. You just fucking start shooting. That's my opinion. I agree with killing somebody who's gonna kill you, and that there should be no repercussions for that. That is such a stupid lawyerly thing to do, because when you're in the middle of a situation where somebody has a gun or a knife or something and is attacking you, you're not sitting there going, there's a door, I gotta go. No, you're sitting there going, my life, and you fucking, my family, and you fucking kill. I would kill anybody that tried to kill me.
The attorney gonna tell you, okay, you could run, your door is behind. if the other side, you are standing the other side, the bad guy is in front of the door, then you are nowhere to go, then you kill him. I understand it.
Well, then you know what I think? I think that attorney deserves the death penalty for that stupid fucking opinion. You're going to tell me that because there's a door in close proximity and somebody is literally shooting at you or stabbing at you, that you're going to go, oh, excuse me, I got to get to the door. No, you're fucking in the heat of the moment. Somebody's coming. It's you or them. It's going to be them. I'm going to kill.
You know, those attorneys, you know, they're going to use any excuse to, you know.
That kill him. Then kill that attorney. Fuck that motherfucker. If he's going to fucking try to put me in jail for defending my life and my family, fuck him.
If he's defending you, you let him do that though, right?
But I'm not going to be the one who's murdering people, so I'll never have to have that defense.
No, for example, you know, self-defense, then your position is...
You know what, Yuki? I always thought about this. I know you're not supposed to do it, but if I was on trial for my life, for literally my life, I would defend myself. I would act as my own attorney.
Ooh.
Nobody can argue like me, and I don't care. If I go to jail, it's going to be because of me, not because of some attorney who fucks me up or there's some loophole or something, because I'm going to argue the shit out of this. I'm going to read every goddamn law. In fact, if I'm ever on trial for my life and there's like a buildup of 3 months, you know, I'm going to read every law book imaginable, and I'm going to give myself an education in law, and I'm going to defend myself, and I don't care if it looks bad. I am going to go hard. I'm going to win over the jury, and I'm going to destroy the prosecuting attorney, and I'm going to find out secrets about his life and expose them.
I think you may be a good defense attorney, though.
I think that I could have been a decent litigator in certain regards. I don't know about every single aspect of law, but I think in certain realms I might have been pretty good, because I like arguing sometimes, or debating. I like debating. I like ideas. I like studying certain things. And if I only had a taste for the law, it was just too clinical. I some of it was just too dense, and I really didn't want to sit there. And I also don't like the idea of having people's lives in my hands. If it's my own life, I will be certainly fine with toying with it in a way to save myself. But I wouldn't want to be responsible and have to compromise. Like if I know somebody's innocent and they have to plea bargain and get it like a shit deal, or vice versa. If I know somebody's guilty, I still have to give them a good defense. I don't know if I could do any of that. But for me, I would be my own attorney, and I would rock the house. And I would want it to be televised so that everybody saw.
Ever thought about being an attorney?
Back in the day when I was very young, you know, it was always like, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer. You know, my dad was like, you got to be a doctor or a lawyer or this or that. Now, I would entertain the idea, you know, but my grades in high school weren't that good. Like, it was fun. I was like a mediocre student. I was like, you know, I had like an 85 average or something like that. But that's because I didn't try. I didn't study. I just got an 85 without even cracking books. I just listened in class. So I have like intelligence, but I'm also very stupid because I didn't better myself.
My parents told me same thing. You should become a attorney. You should become a doctor. You should be an architect. Like my parents told me the same thing.
I think all parents go to those professions. That's like the first thing you say. You go to be a doctor, a lawyer, or architect, or, you know, something like that. And of course, we're too stupid to know, because you know what? I think about this sometimes. Is like, if I was smart, I would have gotten into some sort of business, made a shitload of money in my 20s, then retired from that business, and then pursued the entertainment career in my 30s and 40s. That would have been the smartest move. But I was just too dumb when I was younger to know.
Your parents was okay when you said, hey, I want to do filmmaker. I want to
No,
be
they weren't exactly thrilled. They were not thrilled. They were like, you know how hard it is. It's such a difficult life. You know, there's all they really wanted me to have like a backup plan. And, you know, for many years, especially when I went to LA, like the reason they supported me in my choice was because I was also a hard worker, and I never like was a loafer. I had jobs. I was a full-time janitor. I was a full-time dispatcher. I always had a job to support myself. So it wasn't like I was just sitting there in my bedroom going, I want to be an actor. I want to make music. No, while I was pursuing my dreams, I had a way to support myself. You know, then only later on when I got into trauma and I was doing well in trauma, but I couldn't have a full-time job outside of trauma, and trauma was paying me like a less than minimum wage. That's when they were kind of like, all right, look, do what you got to do, see if it leads somewhere, but if this doesn't work out, you got to figure something else out. And luckily it sort of worked out. So not to get too far off from the death penalty, but you know, it's like, I think that if I really put my mind to it, I could have done something in law.
Oh.
Although I hear that the bar exam is like the hardest test ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know people who failed it like 5 times and they study like crazy. So it's got to be tough.
But, you know, some people just passing first time. I have a couple of friends, they passed, only took once.
Yeah. It's just so much information. You need to know so much stuff. But so with the death penalty, Yuki, I 100% agree in certain regards. Other regards, I don't. What I really agree with, and I hope this isn't a controversial statement to people listening or whatever. Pedophiles die. Pedophiles should be fucking put to death immediately. If you fucking rape or molest a child, you deserve to die. No questions asked. That's it. That is such a fucking corruption, deep-seated corruption that cannot be cured. I don't care what anybody says. If you're doing that to another human being who is barely even able to have their own mind formed and destroying that life, your life deserves to be destroyed.
Now, did some politician want to pass death penalty? You know, if you rape somebody, you're executed, and I thought somebody's doing it. No,
are they? Is that like, are they bringing that to light? Because I feel like in the 80s the death penalty was a thing when I was young, and people would talk about it and stuff, and then I feel like it fell off. I don't really know what each state's laws are in terms of the death penalty, but I feel like it's less talked about now, and I feel like it's also less utilized.
Yeah.
Right? When was the last time you heard of a public execution where somebody was lethal injection, or maybe they just don't put it out on the news anymore? But I feel like back in the day, it'd be like, this guy was executed in Texas, and da-da-da-da.
No, we don't see any. I don't think they make announcement. It's just a secret thing, you know.
They just do it. They don't, because you know what always freaked me out, saying the movies, but I know that this is real life, that people could come and watch you die.
Oh yeah, well, especially, you know, the victim's wife, her family, you know, they want to make sure this guy goes to hell. But the thing is, when you execute, there's always like several people push the button, right? Then nobody knows which button is the goal.
Right, I heard that there's yeah, it sort of lets you not take the guilt on of killing the person, so you're not sure whether or not it was you or the guy next to you or the guy next to you.
But you feel guilty about, like, okay, I pushed the button, but nobody knows which button did it. So nobody feels bad about it, I think.
If you were on death row, Yuki, I have a few questions. First off, what would be your chosen method? I know that you probably can't always choose, but if you had a choice, what would be the way that you would want to go? And I'm not just limiting it to I'm not just limiting it to what the accepted ones are. Like, you could invent your own death penalty. Like, how would you want to be put to death if you had to be put to death?
I think injection or gas. I mean, I don't want to be, painful way to go, and just sleep, then go. So maybe injection is no electric, no hanging.
I would want to be injected with so much heroin that I would be so high that I would be like awesome on the way out. I'd be like, I'm on heroin. I feel like I'm in Train Spotting now, but in the good parts. I'm fucking feeling great. This is amazing. And then you just die because your body can't handle the joy. Or morphine, whatever. Just some euphoric drug that you keep pumping it so much into me that I die happy.
I agree with you. Yeah, it's a nice way to go. Happily dying, right? I mean, so.
The fucking electric chair, that's the worst.
I think doing it is different from every state, or how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess different states have different techniques, but I have not heard about an electric chair death in forever. And just imagine, like, have you ever been shocked? Just like, you put your finger on like something and it goes, just imagine that's like 1 millifraction of what is pumped through your body.
I really hated to see the movie Shawshank Redemption.
Oh no, the Green Mile.
Green Mile.
That scene fucked me up in the theater because the whole idea in that movie is that you got to put the sponge underneath the helmet so that it conducts faster, or there's some reasoning, but the guy doesn't put the sponge, so it like melts him.
Right. It burns.
He burns and oh my god, that scene is amazing. That's a great movie, actually, a good death penalty movie. I mean, the whole thing happens on death row.
I like Green Mile better than Shawshank Redemption.
Interesting. I mean, I think they're pretty equal, but Shawshank edges it out just a little bit because it's more, to me, Shawshank is more rewatchable. I could watch Shawshank again, but Green Mile, I need some time and space between the watches.
How about Dead Man Walking?
Dead Man Walking. Now that was harrowing to me. I saw that, I think, in high school when it first came out. And, they don't shy away from anything in that movie. Sean Penn is a bastard. Sean Penn did what he did. He does deserve to die, but they still somehow figure out how to make you feel sorry for him. Right? Isn't that like that? And then when they're at the end, they're like, Dead Man Walking. And he's like, kind of like trying to forgive himself. And Sharon, what's the name? Sharon,
Susan
Sarandon. Yeah, she's like, oh, that movie's crazy. And that's directed by Tim Robbins.
That's right. Susan Sarandon, she was sleeping with him.
He was a live man walking in the bedroom, that's for sure. Yeah, that's a good death penalty movie. You know what's another one is I Want to Live. The Robert Wise one is fucking amazing.
That's good. What, Susan Hayward?
Yes, that movie blew my mind because I love Robert Wise, as you know, but that was one I hadn't seen, and Liz Shack and I caught it on TCM maybe 4 years ago, and we were both like, holy shit, how have we never seen this movie before? Her performance is amazing.
Right.
Amazing. What's another one? Oh, there's the goofy Wes Craven movie, Shocker.
Oh my god! But that's a little bit, over the top. I mean,
that's definitely over the top. And then there's also a movie called The Horror Show that was also released as House 3, which is a good one. That's got Lance Hendrickson in it. And it's also about a guy on death row who's like, I'm going to come back for you. And he actually does.
I see.
It's a good concept for a horror. You know what another one is? With Denzel, your boy, Denzel, Fallen.
Oh, but I didn't like that movie.
I didn't really like it either, but I love the concept.
I see.
Where somebody's like, again, I'm going to come, and then he like hops. The demon basically hops from person to person. So you think that the evil's dead in the execution of the death penalty, and nope, that motherfucker's coming back for you.
I just don't like that kind of, it's I don't know, it's called a sci-fi supernatural, or I don't know, it's bullshit to me. I mean,
Right. Well, all right. What about final meals, Yuki? Because I have thought about this. What would your final death row meal be? And they can give you anything you want.
how many meal you can get? Just the last one? So only.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but that's a good question. Do they have a lead up, or do they just feed you the prison food until the final meal?
Yeah, because they don't tell you until last minute, right? No, otherwise.
Yeah, I think you have a very short amount of time from when they announce that you're finally dying until you do die, like a day or two.
So it's not like okay, you have a 1 week. You die next week, so you can eat anything you want next 7 days. It's not like that.
I don't think it's like that. It wouldn't make sense to be like that. It's more. I think it's. In order to not shock a person and have them have existential dread for 7 days, I'm pretty sure they announce it, and then pretty soon after it's done.
So once, twice, then it's hard. I mean, sushi would be nice, but I like to eat steak, lobster. Maybe those one of three: sushi, lobster, or steak.
That's good. I can't decide on mine. Because there's so many foods in the world, I wouldn't know what to choose. Because, like, say that I got arrested in like a shitty part of the country where they have bad pizza, then I wouldn't want the pizza unless they could fly in good pizza. So that would probably be out. Burritos, again, certain parts of the country can't make a fucking burrito. It fucking suck. You get like a shitty ass Applebee's burrito or something. Hell no. It is pretty hard to fuck up a steak, right? Like just a plain old medium rare steak with salt and pepper. That's pretty good.
Right. But I want the good meat, though. Not just, okay meat. I mean, it's just like filet mignon or something, nice and soft and tender. Not those buying from just the market. No, I want good steak.
Yeah, maybe they could special fly in certain things for you. Or, you know what I would do? I would do like 50 Big Macs. And instead of having it be a good meal, it would be the most meal. I would just shovel food in like a gavone. And ask for like tubs of ice cream and all the fucking piles of fries and just be a pig. Instead of it being delicious, it would just be a lot.
You could kill yourself before tomorrow.
Die before the death. Force a heart attack so you go out like kind of enjoying yourself in a way. Yeah, Yuki, I don't know. Like, I do feel like there are situations for the death penalty that it should be there. But then again, it's like so difficult to say because, I don't really believe in the idea of full rehabilitation, right? Like that's why I think when alcoholics go, I'm an alcoholic, even if they're not drinking, I think that makes a lot of sense because even though they've quit the drinking, they still admit that they are that thing that was destroying their life, which is an alcoholic. When you get to it, when there's like a murderer or something, they maybe because they're so manipulative and shitty as a human being, would say, oh, I'm fully rehabilitated, and just be like a good liar about it, instead of admitting, yeah, I'm a murderer, I still want to murder, I'm still addicted to the bloodlust and all that stuff, and I'm a piece of shit. But if they admit that, then they wouldn't be rehabilitated in the eyes of the law. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a twisty thing. Like okay, Jeffrey Dahmer, right? That motherfucker, even if he told you, oh yeah, I'm cured, I don't want to eat people anymore, of course he does. Of course he wants to eat people. That was probably the best time of his life. He was keeping motherfuckers in the tubs, and he was having a grand old time. And he probably dreams of it and loves his life at that time. So to say that, oh, prison can change him, I don't think so. I don't think so. And all the harm that he caused to all families and all kinds of people, and even the nightmares that he's given strangers, he should die. I mean, I guess somebody killed him in prison, but the death penalty was deserved for a person like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. You know that Charlize Theron's, her father was alcoholic, and then her mom killed him.
Whoa, what? I didn't know this. Charlize Theron's mom killed her father.
In front of her.
What?
Yeah. But that was a self-defense, so she didn't go to jail or not even arrested. Otherwise, the guy killed both of them, so she shot him.
Holy shit, I didn't know this at all, Yuki. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. Now we know why she's such a good actor, because she probably, whenever she has to cry, she just remembers that moment in her life and fucking cries and wins an Oscar.
Maybe, she should make the movie, I think.
Well, she played the serial killer woman, Monster.
Yeah.
So maybe she drew upon some of those harrowing memories for that role. Wow, that's a mind-blowing situation, Yuki. I had no idea that was that. You know what? I saw recently a video. You know how there's this new generation of people who prank people in public and put it on social media? So they'll go up to you in public and start to fuck with you, and there's nothing you could really do because they just harass you. Well, there was one guy who was getting harassed by this YouTube guy who was doing a prank, like, he wouldn't leave him alone, and the guy just pulled out a gun and shot him. And the guy didn't die, but the guy who shot the other guy was freed of all charges because they deemed it self-defense, because this guy would not leave him alone. So that in the eyes of the law, this guy who was harassing him with a camera showed a threat because he would not stop after he said, leave me alone, this and that, walked away. The guy did all the things he could to get away from this asshole prankster. And in the eyes of the law, he was vindicated because he shot the guy to get him away. Because you don't know what this guy has, if he has a knife, if he has a gun, if he's stalking you to, like, set you up for some shit.
But isn't that too much? I mean, just harass.
No, fuck it. Fuck that guy, man. I mean, this is why, like, I don't know, man. I want to start carrying pepper spray around. The world is getting more and more fucked up every single day, Yuki. I get scared the fact that Liz Shack has to go into New York City on the subway every day, and that there's all these subway insane people who are more insane than they ever were in the 80s and 90s. I mean, it's like fucking craziness out there on the train now. People are shitting themselves and wiping it all over themselves on the train, and people are just like, yeah, that's just New York living. I am so afraid for Liz Shack every day of my life, and I don't want to think that way. But it's just the way it is. And then you see all these fucking social media posts where people harass each other. They do fucked up things. It's just getting worse and worse, Yuki. So I want to carry a weapon.
Oh my God. But, well, I mean, this is like a Wild West. It's crazy then.
The Wild East. It's getting worse, Yuki. It's people, I think, we've had this discussion before. Social media and online bullshit is making people more crazy, and they think that it's permissible to do worse and worse things and to be more and more rude in the name of comedy and all that shit. And the sad part is these YouTube prankster kind of people have followings. People watch their shit and laugh and share. And so people like this bullshit.
I know. And then public, I mean, maybe their IQ is so low. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's this?
Maybe. Like, there's this new guy who's gone viral recently in the past couple of days. I've seen his stuff recommended to me now a few times. And he's this black guy. He has an acoustic guitar. And he just stands on the street. And if you walk past him, he'll start to sing insults to you. He'll be like, oh, you look like you got fired from P.F. Chang's. And to like a Chinese guy. And, of course, the Chinese guy is going to stop and be like, fuck you. What the fuck is your problem? And all that is meant to do is to escalate the situation so that it becomes violent, so that you have a clip that you could put online for clout that you can then bring in more viewers, more followers, more bullshit.
We need a new law then. You can insult or annoy people, even internet.
Yeah, but then that's anti-freedom of speech, Yuki. So it's like the thing is, I don't think it was always decent back in the day, but there was a fake layer of decency where people would respect their elders, respect strangers, give people room in public. You wouldn't invade people's spaces, but all of that is being done away with for views and clicks and all sorts of shit. So I have a bad feeling that you're going to start to see a lot more of what that guy did, is pull out a gun and just shoot somebody, because they are sort of posing a threat to you if they won't stop if they won't leave you alone, if they won't stop, it's going to escalate to violence. If somebody touches you or fuck.
But I mean, I don't know if you shoot them, Maybe punch him, but not shooting him.
I don't know, Yuki. I don't know. It's getting to a point, man. I mean, look, I'm just kind of joking. I wouldn't shoot somebody if they were pranking me on camera. But yeah, I might fucking beat the fuck out of somebody or at least.
Well, you should punch him, but not shoot him or stab him.
But then again, it's like turn the other cheek. Just walk away, and then what happens? It doesn't like people say, what a pussy, he walked away. But you know what? You don't go to jail. You don't get in trouble with the law. You don't go on the fucking YouTube on clicks. And so all this is to say, I think YouTube prankers and fucking Instagram prankers deserve the death penalty.
Yeah, there were prank. I mean, you don't want to die for pranking somebody. I think that's too much. I think it's not eye for an eye, I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I'm joking. I don't think they really deserve the death penalty, but they deserve like some sort of comeuppance, right? It's this whole new idea where it's like you can just straight up insult somebody to their face, and people are doing it now more and more. And I just don't understand what you get out of that. Like, what does a person get out of fucking with another person's life? Other than, I guess, money, maybe.
The 5 years or 10 years, there will be they land. I mean, this penalty is just too much, but.
No, it's too much.
So maybe, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't prank, because if I prank, I get to, 5 years or 10 years. It's not worth it, so I don't prank. I mean, I think 5-10 years, then, teach them lesson, no?
All right, so let's think about the things that do really deserve death penalty. So you said murder,
yeah,
violent murder, which I agree with. And when I say violent murder, I mean like murder against somebody that's not self-defense or accidental, actual murder. I kind of agree with you there. Then pedophilia, somebody who rapes a child. We'll go there. There's no shades of gray in rape. If you rape, you die. What else? Let's see. I think that's it. I don't know what other things deserve. What else would deserve to die, Yuki?
Okay, here's the situation. Like, let's say in the plane, plane is going down, and then there's not enough parachute. Someone has to die. So you punch somebody, get the parachute. You save yourself. Is that the self-defense or what's called it?
Wow, this is a moral conundrum, Yuki. Well, you know what? That's murder, essentially. If you punch somebody in the face and then jump out the plane and they die, you murdered them, essentially. But then again, are you supposed to just sacrifice yourself?
Right, then save somebody else?
I say flip for it. You say, all right, I got a coin, heads or tails, motherfucker. And then if they lose, then sorry, we did a game of chance. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, you're in the plane. There is no plane's going down, no pilot. You and Liz, one parachute.
I give it to Liz. I lived a longer life than Liz, and she's such a nice person. She deserves to live.
Okay, there you go. So,
but that's a loved one. I thought you meant like a stranger.
Yeah, in a way, same thing. No, okay.
No, because I don't know if that's a good or bad person. I know Liz Shack is an amazing person who deserves all the great things that she gets and should get, and should live a long life because she's a kind and caring and gentle person. But the next person next to me, who I don't know if they're stranger, they could be a rapist or a murderer or a pedophile. I don't fucking know, and they can't prove it to me in 30 seconds. So we're gonna flip for it. Flip a coin, motherfucker.
Flip the coin, not to punch him with the parachute?
No, flip a coin. It's fair. And then if they punch me, because they're a piece of shit, they prove they're a piece of shit, so then I fight back and take the parachute and jumps, and I wouldn't feel bad because it was self-defense.
Oh, so if they punch you fast, you punch him, then get the parachute, and you save yourself.
Yes.
That's a good way to do it. I think that's a self-defense.
Yeah, so I would offer, I say, all right, we flip a coin. And if he says, fuck you, and it hits me, then I say, no, fuck you. I hit back, take the parachute, jump, self-defense.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but if we flip and I lose, I'll accept my fate. All right, here's the parachute. I'm a man of my word. I'm the one who suggested flipping a coin or rock, paper, scissors.
Take this.
Then I say, yes, if he's going to offer it to me freely, I'm not going to fight him and say, no, you. No. If I said, I lost, you take the parachute, and then he goes, no, you, I say, okay, go, bye. And I go.
I see. Because he offered you.
He offered, and it's a split-second decision. You gotta think fast in those situations.
You don't have no time to think about it, huh?
What about you, Yuki?
I never thought about it, but you're right. I mean, I don't want to punch him, get the parachute. I wait, see how he does. And if he punch me, then, self-defense. I punch him back and get the parachute, save myself. And then, like you said, it's self-defense. Yeah. So those are good situation, okay situation. And then, he's a bad guy, so he died. Yeah.
Death penalty.
Yeah, that's death penalty. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the death penalty, Yuki? I mean, we kind of touched upon all of it, I guess. We both agree with it in certain situations. We talked about some movies. Is there anyone in particular that you think deserves the death penalty at this point in time? That's like on TV or or stories that you heard of that you think deserve it?
I don't know. The deserve to die is kind of it's not easy to say. I mean, nobody's above the law, so you can say, hey, he deserved to die, but we don't know really the situation, so you just can't say that. So it's not easy to say, you die, you get death penalty, go to hell, you deserve to die. I mean, you really know the whole situation, all the condition, and then make sure he really should get the death penalty. Then, bye,
I agree, Yuki. There's a time and a place, like that song by the Birds. There's a time and a season for loving, and there's also a time and a season for killing, Yuki. Not killing Yuki, but killing. And sometimes eye for an eye is right. Sometimes it's wrong. But I guess that's why there's all sorts of lawyers and laws in place where you don't just decide willy-nilly. It has to be litigated, and people have to talk about it and debate it and all this stuff. But you know what? People who deserve to die usually know it. And I'm sure that unless you're a true sociopath, that there's some guilt involved and you're tortured for the rest of your life, maybe? Like I feel like not every psycho killer just sits there and goes, I did what I did. I'm so happy about it. Some of them probably regret it, maybe. I don't know. I know I said that Jeffrey Dahmer didn't, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes you make mistakes in life. I don't know. It's such a complicated situation, but there's certain cut and dry situations.
It's a psycho killer, individually, this psycho killer killing people individually, that's bad. But what if this psycho politician push the button?
Yes, see, that's a complicated situation too, where, like presidents are, almost all presidents have been responsible for killing innocent people in the name of protecting freedoms and getting rid of bad guys, right? Bad guys.
Yeah, but you can just say, casualty of war, then killing innocent people, civilian, women and children, the baby. I mean, I don't know. I mean, so individually, okay, killing people, crime, but push the button, then, shoot the missile, then kill thousands of people. It's okay because it's a war.
Yeah, that's see, you've gotten into a complicated area. It's such a fucked up world that's like sort of accepted in the name of, okay, these guys are the bad guys. Let's destroy them and kill them. But casualties of war are just necessary, or like say American soldiers dying. That's just the necessity of war, right? But that's killing people, right?
If you win the war, okay, hero. I mean, the guy pushed the button is a hero because.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like like with this, where I don't know when we're going to release this actual episode, but the whole Iran situation is happening, and it's they say, of course, the guy who they just ousted and killed. Supposedly, I mean, they say in the media that he killed 30 to 40,000 people of his own people, and that's part of the reason why this happened. But then other people say that there's ulterior motives like oil and all sorts of stuff. So it's so complicated. It's above my pay grade or whatever. But I think that the guy, if he killed 30 or 40,000 people, that's an evil man, right?
Right.
And in our eyes, we said that murder is bad, so he deserved to die, right? By our own logic. But then, if you do the flip side of it, Trump, he pushed the button. There were casualties of war. I'm not going to say he deserves to die because it's illegal to say that you want to kill the president, and I don't want to kill the president. But by our own logic, that's something that we have to think about. I mean, it's really hard to say, and there's probably millions of people around who would say that they want President Trump to die, and I think that's I don't know, I think we also touched upon this not too long ago, but the Charlie Kirk thing. There were people celebrating this man's death. Now, he had certain ideas that were horrible. He had certain ideas that were good. He didn't deserve to die over his ideas, right? He didn't seem like an evil, I'm saying evil in quotes, he didn't seem like an evil person, but certain people regarded him as evil. But in my mind, that guy didn't deserve to die. Maybe he deserved other penalties, public shame or whatever the hell, I don't know. But it's such a murky area that's why, when we both say this one deserves to die, that one deserves to die. What if somebody comes around and says, John Brennan's fat and ugly, he deserves to die, and then other people agree with it?
Well, what kind of people is that? I mean, nobody has a right to say that.
Have you ever been on the internet, Yuki? On Twitter? People say that shit all the time. Maybe not the deserves to die part, but...
But sometimes, people get mad, like, I will kill you, but nobody means to kill you because they don't kill you.
Oh, did you see that thing recently where in Los Angeles there was a woman who was protesting, like, transitioning children at a certain age, and then some woman who worked in a hospital setting was holding up a different sign, and they were having words about the situation, and then the woman leaned in and she said, "I'm going to hunt you down and kill you." And then she walked away, but they got it on camera, and then they found out who she was, and she lost her job and all that sort of stuff. You can't just say to somebody, "I'm going to kill you." You can't do that. It's a threat. It's against the law. Yeah. Like one time, this guy in L.A., my neighbor downstairs, he was a fucking psychopath. He was a cokehead. He was just always drinking and up till 5 a.m. And one day, my brother and I were walking around. It was daytime, and he was probably sleeping off some sort of a hangover. And he started yelling out the window. He's like, "You motherfucking cockson, blah, blah, blah." And we kind of like ignored him, like, "Dude, whatever. We'll beat the fuck out of you if we team up." Because he was sort of a small guy, but he was loud. One night, not too long after that, he came home wasted. I'm talking, this guy was so blackout drunk, and he started screaming at our building and saying, "Oh, you motherfuckers in there, especially the motherfuckers who live above me. I'm going to kill you motherfuckers. I'm going to shoot my gun through the floor and kill you. I'm going to put your face in a pillow and rape you in jail." Saying all of this crazy shit. And when he started screaming, luckily, I had my video camera close by the door because I was doing something, and I turned it on and I recorded his whole speech. And the guy was so stupid that he said his name. He said his own name. "My name is blah, 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 and I live downstairs." And and then he kept going on because where I lived in West Hollywood, it was a big dog community. People were walking dogs like crazy. Like everybody had a dog in that neighborhood. And he started going, "And by the way, I'm a cat person, so I'm going to shoot everybody's dog." And all this crazy shit. And I got him on camera saying it. So I brought it to the police and I said, "Look, I'll be able to defend myself if this guy tries to attack me. But if he has a gun and tries to kill me, I want a paper trail started that this man threatened my life, and he said his own name. I mean, it's on video." And this cop, he's like, "Oh, that's fine. I can't do anything about that. This isn't a punishable offense." I said, "It's not punishable. I'm not asking you to go after the man. I'm asking you to start a paper trail that this man threatened my life, and that's fucking within my rights." He goes, No. I could walk up to," and this was around the time of Obama. He goes, "I could walk up to the White House and shout to the White House, 'I'm going to kill you, President Obama,' or whatever." That was his quote. I didn't say that. And I said, "You can't do that. It's against the law." And so I'm arguing with this cop about my rights. So I finally said, "You know what? I'm not leaving. I need to talk to somebody that's not you. I don't care. I'll stay here all night. I want somebody to listen to this tape. This man threatened my life, and I want to start a fucking paper trail and report this situation." And finally, I got somebody who listened to it. He said, "Look, the guy's drunk. He obviously probably won't remember what he said, but I'm going to put this down in a report just so you have it." I took that fucking report, and I went to my landlord, and I got that motherfucker kicked out because I actually was afraid that the man had a gun. You don't know what anybody does in these. So it was one of those situations where I was threatened with murder. And truthfully, I'm like, if you want to threaten me in a one-on-one fight, whatever. If I lose, I lose, whatever. I'll get my face beat in. But if you want to threaten me with a gun, that ups the level. Even if you don't mean it, I'm not fucking taking that shit because I'm fucking afraid of dying. So in that situation, you know, I had to defend myself. But then again, I don't know, Yuki. Did he deserve the death penalty?
Maybe some kind of punishment, but not death penalty. He's not there yet.
Yeah, no, he didn't get there. And I really don't think he remembered because I saw his roommate in the elevator and he's like, holy shit, I'm so sorry. And then he, like a half a week later, the guy was out of the building. So anyway, Yuki, any final thoughts on the death penalty? I know we said final thoughts, but one final thought on the death penalty, and then we'll go.
I would say, don't do anything stupid. You don't need to get death penalty. So don't kill anybody, I say.
Yeah, don't kill, don't rape, don't molest. Don't do any of the major crimes, right? If you want to steal a candy bar because you're hungry and poor, that's more forgivable.
But no, not killing, no.
All right, well, that's the death penalty. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And then we also want to thank all of our patrons and all of our listeners and all of our subscribers and everybody who shares. There's so many beautiful people who help us and still listen to us. We still, it's worth our time to do this. And the major support on Patreon and, just people who love us. So, Yuki, I love you. You love me. So we can keep talking like this about horrible things like the death penalty.
How many episodes? We went to 200 yet or no?
No, we're as of right now, before we release this, it might be much more by then, but we're about 155.
Okay. So still a long way to go.
We still have, probably by the end of the year, we'll hit 200. But that's cool, man. 200's a lot. So what I was thinking is once we hit a certain number, we'll take the first half. So like say if we get to 200, we'll take 100, put it on just the Patreon, delete it from the public, and sort of start over so that people can subscribe and hear our old episodes and they don't just get them for free. We're going to do a hoodwink on everybody.
Well, we keep doing it, and then I will think something I like to talk then.
Yeah, more topics. Anybody, if you guys out there have more topics, I have a whole list of topics that we still haven't even gotten to. There's like 30 topics that we've been suggested or that I thought of, you thought of. We got so many to do. So think one that you wanted to do, which I thought was really a lot, was World War I and World War II. That's a huge undertaking. I want to do the Old Testament and the New Testament. That's going to be huge. That's like yeah. So we still have multiple part episodes. Plus, if you could think of any smaller topics, just keep going.
Okay.
All right. So we'll see you next time at
the death penalty buffet.
That's right. Death penalty for everybody. No, just joking. Death penalty for only a select few.
No, nobody dies from listening to this. So yeah.